Okay, let's dive in. You've brought us this excerpt from Junie B. Jones has a peep in her pocket.
That's right.
And our mission today really is to unpack this. We're looking for the core ideas,
Mhm.
the humor, definitely, but also those, surprising insights about how a young kid navigates stuff.
Exactly. Confusing information, big fears, totally new experiences, like this farm trip.
Yeah, we're going to look at this source together and see what it tells us. Maybe about learning itself, how we process things.
Absolutely. And Junie B is such a great window into that. It shows the messy side of learning, how new facts bump up against what you already think or fear.
It's relatable even for adults. It's how any learner, you included, kind of grapples with new stuff that maybe doesn't quite fit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's set the scene. Junie B. Jones, almost 6, kindergarten, room 9.
Right. And the name, Junie B the B is for Beatrice, but she hates that.
Hates it. Got her best friends, Lucille and Grace, and her teacher, Mrs. Carana. And right off the bat, we hit this classic confusion moment.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. says school is ending.
And Junie B. just panics
Mm-hmm.
because her mom said something totally different, right? About being in school till she's an old teenager.
Exactly. So school is ending, clashes directly with her established understanding. Instant alarm bells.
And then the clarification comes, oh, just for summer vacation. You're moving up to first grade. Phew.
But that initial reaction, that jump to panic based on like incomplete data, that's such a perfect little snapshot of how we process things through our own lens.
Totally. Our existing ideas shape how we even hear new information.
It's all about interpretation, not just the raw facts.
Right. So, okay, confusion cleared up.
Yeah.
Then comes the actual exciting news. Field trip to a farm.
And the other kids, they're thrilled, shouting, excited.
But Junie B, not so much. She straight up says, farms are not my favorites.
And there it is, the friction, fear attaching itself to this new thing.
And it gets specific, doesn't it? The fear initially lands on
Oh,
ponies.
ponies, because of some TV show when ponies attack.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's convinced they'll stomple you into the ground and kill you to death.
Man.
Kids' logic from.
Ah, vivid.
Mm.
And it comes out at dinner. Daddy laughs, bad move.
Uh-huh. Yeah, instant timeout for Daddy.
Oh.
Mom's frustrated. It's clearly not the first time this pony fear has come up.
So mom tries a different approach, tells a story about her Uncle Billy's farm, nice animals.
Gentle pony named Stubby.
But then she mentions the mean old rooster named Spurs.
And boom, that's the trigger. The fear just jumps tracks.
Instantly, it leaves ponies behind and locks onto roosters. It's that story plus something she heard before.
Right from Meanie Jim at school, the idea that roosters can peck your head into a nub.
A nub. What even is that? But it doesn't matter. It's vivid. It's kind of scary sounding.
And it sticks. That becomes a central fear, this nub idea. She's talking about it at breakfast the next day.
Insisting on it, describing this teensy little knobhead, and her parents are trying to shut it down, change the subject. Daddy gets growly.
But she holds on to it. It shows how powerful a single weird idea from a peer mixed with a story can be,
Yeah.
even against adults saying no.
It becomes her truth about roosters. Think about how we do that too, right? We hear one scary story, one anecdote.
Oh, definitely. And suddenly that shapes our whole view of something, even if it's, totally out of proportion.
Especially when fear's involved. Fear makes things sticky.
So then at school, they have this activity,
Hmm.
draw what you want to see at the farm.
And this just highlights everyone's different headspace, doesn't it?
Totally. Lucille wants a flamingo. Pink, obviously.
Polly Allen Puffer. A catfish with like slicing whiskers, another kind of weird fixation.
Well, Mrs. is just hoping for, a cow, a sheep,
Right.
a regular old farm animal.
And Junie B's drawing. Oh boy.
It's something else. She holds it up all proud. It's a rooster. Well, part of one. Under a fallen tree.
Because, as she explains, he did not get out in time, apparently. Only the foot is showing.
It's so dark. Mrs. covers her mouth, trying not to laugh or gasp, probably. Another kid, Charlotte, says it's terrible.
And Junie B's defense. Straight back to the core fear. It's 'cause a rooster pecked your head bald-headed, probably, and now it doesn't even have a nub left.
See? The nub again. It's
Yeah.
like her fear is literally coloring her perception, her art, everything. It's the only lens she has for farm right now.
That idea is just completely running the show in her head.
Okay, fast forward. Trip day. She tries faking a fever.
The classic. Anything to get out of it. Which just shows you how real that dread is.
Doesn't work, of course.
Yeah.
Then the shopping trip. Farm clothes.
The whole outfit, chunkery shirt, overalls, bandana, hat. She feels like a cornball.
And they get the throwaway camera. It all feels a bit like she's being forced into this costume for a place she doesn't want to be in.
Mm-hmm. Going through the motions, but inside. Still terrified.
And the bus ride confirms her worst fears, basically.
Yeah, Meanie Jim, right behind her. Cock-a-doodly-doo.
Ugh. And then he and Polly Allen Puffer make up that song.
Old MacDonald had a nub. E-I-E-I-O.
That's just brutal. It takes her private fear and makes it public. Ammo for teasing.
Exactly. So when they actually get to the farm and she sees chickens, immediate retreat.
Calls them peccary things.
Yeah.
Hides under her backpack on the bus floor.
Literally trying to disappear. Avoidance mode. Maximum.
And when Mrs. finds her, she pretends to be busy tidying the bus floor with her bandana.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's also just pure panic disguised as something else. She wants out.
But then, things shift a bit. Farmer Flores shows up.
And he's key. He doesn't tell her off. He doesn't dismiss the fear.
No, he gives her a job, special farmhand, gets to walk up front with him, first on the tractor.
And that little bit of status, that role, it changes things, at least for a moment.
Oh yeah, she gets instantly bossy.
All right, people, get in line. Doesn't have all day, folks.
Mrs. has to reel her in, gently, remind her to be helpful and nice.
And Junie B's logic. Because I didn't even tell anyone to shut up yet. Amazing.
It really shows how, feeling important or having a purpose can push anxiety into the background temporarily.
The fear's still there, probably, but the job is more immediate.
So the tour continues. They see horses, ponies.
And she warns the others they probably won't attack. And remembers no cheese popcorn. Maybe a lesson from the zoo. Another confusing encounter, perhaps.
Could be. Then the barn, cow milking. Another fantastic question.
If you breathe stink air up your nose, will your insides smell like stink air?
Classic Junie B. She's still observing, still processing, even with the fear humming underneath.
Her curiosity hasn't shut down completely.
And she gets excited about the tractor ride with Mrs. taking pictures with the camera.
The throwaway camera she then tries to literally throw away.
Right, shoot. Nothing is ever easy, is it? They have lunch. Lucille's got some fancy setup.
So there are moments of normalcy, even fun, mixed in. It's not all just terror.
No, it's complex, like real life. But then, the final stop. The hen house.
Ground zero for the rooster fair.
And her reaction is immediate, hesitates, then bolts. Runs away from the gate.
Predictably, the teasers jump on it. Jim and Polly.
But Farmer Flores steps in again. And this is really important how he handles it.
Yes. He tells the boys off, but more than that, he validates her caution. Says there's nothing wrong with someone being cautious.
That's huge. And then he shares his own fear.
Of a nipping goat. Which is brilliant. It normalizes it. It's like saying, hey, everyone's cautious about something, even grown-up farmers.
Takes the shame out of it. Creates this little bit of connection.
Right then, the big moment, he brings out the chick.
A baby yellow chick.
Yeah.
And her reaction is just instant delight.
Pure joy. All that fear just melts away in the face of this tiny, fluffy thing.
Calls it fluffy, softy. Wants to hold it, keep it safe in her hat, put it in her pocket.
It's direct contact, positive sensory experience, totally different from abstract fear based on stories.
She finds out its name is Spike. Loves Spike.
And then Farmer Flores gently drops the truth bomb.
Spike isn't going to stay a little chick forever.
Someday, Spike will be a rooster.
Oh, man. You can just see the mental gears grinding. The confusion, as she calls it.
She says it out loud, trying to process. First, I hated roosters. Only then I liked Spike. Only Spike is going to be a rooster. And so now what am I supposed to do?
It's pure cognitive dissonance. Her categories are breaking down. Rooster's bad, scary nub, and Spike is good, soft, lovable. Now they're merging.
How does that work? Her brain is genuinely struggling. She even says she might need counseling.
It really captures that feeling when new information completely messes with your existing framework. It could be really unsettling for any learner.
Yeah, what do you do when something you filed under bad turns out to be connected to something good? It forces a rethink.
Okay, but the final resolution for the main fear, the nub fear, comes later. Wildflower field.
The perfect setting for the climax. Farmer Flores takes off his hat.
And P is just a head. A normal farmer head. No nub to be seen.
That's it, the visual proof. The direct contradiction to the scary story.
And she is ecstatic, dancing, shouting, "Your head is not a nub. Your head is not a nub."
It's pure relief. The central pillar of her fear, built entirely on hearsay from Meanie Jim, just collapses when faced with reality.
Gone. And then, in typical fashion, she immediately pivots. Okay, not afraid of roosters anymore.
Maybe now I can be afraid of goats.
Just like you, she tells Farmer Flores. His eye roll must have been an epic.
It's funny, but it also shows something interesting, right? The pattern of finding something to be wary of might still be there, even if the specific fear is gone.
Yeah, the nub fear dissolved because she saw the evidence. But the idea of adopting a fear based on someone else's experience, like Farmer Flores and the goat, that's still an option for her.
It really highlights how powerful seeing something for yourself is compared to just hearing about it. Barbara Park, the author, mentioned her own farm visits were positive, which contrasts with Junie B's initial terror, showing how personal history shapes everything.
Different lenses, different experiences.
Exactly.
So wrapping up this deep dive, Ginny B's farm trip is just this fantastic little case study, isn't it? On fear, perspective, how kids learn.
It really is. It shows how easily bad information, especially vivid stuff like the nub, can create really intense fears.
It also shows the power of direct experience. Actually holding Spike, actually seeing Farmer Flores' head, that changes things.
That personal connection, that concrete evidence, it can dismantle those fears in a way just talking about it can't.
Yeah, it reminds us learning isn't neat, it's messy. It involves bumping into ideas that conflict, feeling that confusion like Junie B did. Ponies, roosters, chicks, nubs. She's navigating it all.
And eventually, usually through some kind of direct encounter, our understanding shifts. Firsthand experience really is a game changer for what we believe.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to chew on. Think about a time you had a really strong belief, or maybe a fear, about something. Could be anything, a place, a group of people, an idea based mostly on things you'd heard or seen from a distance.
And then consider what happened when or if you actually encountered that thing or engaged with that idea up close, personally. Did it change your perspective? How did that firsthand experience stack up against the stories you've been told or told yourself? How does reality reshape the narratives we live by?